Back working on the Mercury again today. Got a bit of cleanup to do. Going to try and clean up the heads real nice, and also got some brand new spark plugs. The spark plugs that were installed in here were new, but they're just Autolite coppers. These cars are actually fairly picky about what spark plugs they use. So we got some Motorcraft Platinums that we'll be installing, and then hopefully getting close to reassembly here soon. One thing I did notice while trying to get the spark plug in there is actually a little bit of standing liquid down inside the cylinder. That is probably from when I took the intake manifold off. There is a coolant passage that runs right through here, and it must have spilled in a bit. I inadvertently spilled some water in there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to shut off or unhook the fuel system for the car, shut off the fuel pump so that it doesn't run, and I'm going to turn it over to try and get a lot of that out of there, as much as I can at least. Don't want to damage the car by hydrolocking it. Well, it turns out the battery's pretty much dead, so that's a lost cause for the day. We need to get a battery charger, but in the meantime I'm going to try and get the spark plugs in the rest of the cylinders. I'll be checking to make sure that none of them have any liquid in them. It should really only be the front driver's side, and then the rear passenger side is where it kind of crosses over to. But otherwise, it should be pretty clear. I'll be taking a look at all of them just to make sure though. All but the driver's side front cylinder spark plugs are in. We are just waiting for me to get a battery charger to get that charged up, and then we'll get the that cylinder cleaned out. In the meantime, I might go get like a miniature vacuum of some sort to try and suck the water out instead of forcing it out with a piston. I'm concerned it might not quite work that way, or the way I want it to at least. But in the meantime, I can get the heads cleaned up, and I'm going to work on that. I've already done a little bit of work on them, getting them a bit cleaner than they were. The surfaces aren't quite perfect yet though. They're pretty close, very clean, but not quite there yet. So that's what I'm going to do next. Made a fair bit of progress on reassembly today. We got the intake manifold remounted back on. The throttle body is back in position. It's not permanently mounted yet. EGR is rehooked up. A lot of electrical stuff is rehooked back up. And yeah, calling her quits for today. Hopefully we can get some more done later on.